Namaskar, this is Harsha here. Welcome back to the 21-day headstand challenge. So today is the day 2. Yesterday I showed you how to practice headstand for the first time. When you're practicing headstand for the first time, how to practice against the wall. So if you're a complete beginner, I have something new for you today. If you're practicing headstand against the flat wall for the first time, you'll actually find it a bit difficult, and as I've heard from a lot of you people, it definitely causes a lot of pain in the neck also. So I have an alternative now. So this time, even I, for that matter, when I started practicing headstand, the first time when I practiced headstand, I started against the corner wall. I'm going to show you how to do this. So I'm pretty sure you can find a corner wall in wherever you're living. So when we practice headstand against a wall that's coinciding from two different directions, what's the main purpose and what happens when you do this? See, when you're practicing headstand for the first time and you haven't done this for the first time, and if you want to start it very, very slow and take it slow, and just to make sure, you're not hurting your neck, we do it against the wall. So what happens when we do it against the corner wall is, you can very easily move the leg to one on the right and one on the left. And when you do this, by moving the leg on the right and the left, you actually reduce the strain on the neck. This is how it's done. Let me explain to you in detail. So first, you choose the corner wall. The position will be the same. You interlock the fingers, the tip of the thumb touching one another and the little finger touching one another. You place this to the corner wall and the positions will be the same. So first you come on the knees, you place the crown of the head, and once you do this, you lift the knees, you walk ahead and touch the walls, slowly bend the leg and then gently come up. So when you do this, you keep one heel to the left and one heel to the right. The main reason for you to use a corner wall is you feel like the weight is evenly distributed. When you do this against the flat wall, you feel like there's a lot of weight of the legs that you're not able to bear with support of the neck. When you do headstand for the first time, I seriously suggest you guys to start with this. Why? With the legs apart, you feel like the strain on the neck is very less. It's as simple as that. No other reason to start with. And with the hands, if you do it against the corner wall, naturally what happens when you do headstands against the flat wall, once you come up like this, naturally the tendency is the elbows move outside. But when you do against the corner wall, the maximum the elbows can widen is the distance that is there between the walls, not more than that. So that's another advantage. And then you just stay here. And once you're here, you can even touch the buttocks, and then you'll be able to stay there for much longer duration than compared to the one which you do against the flat wall. You can just close your eyes, slow down the breath, and then when you're coming down, you just bend the leg and then drop down. And don't come up immediately. Fold your arms, just rest the forehead on the palms. Just slow down the breath. Relax the facial muscles. And then you slowly come up. So if you're a complete beginner, if you have never done headstand ever in your life, I honestly suggest you guys not to practice against the flat wall. Get a corner, place the blanket, and as I said earlier also, never practice headstand without the blanket. I see a lot of people practicing headstand without the blanket. You'll definitely hurt your neck in the long run. And especially if you're a beginner and if you're learning from someone who's teaching you headstand, and if they're not teaching the blanket, I suggest you find an alternative teacher. teaching headstand for the first time to someone who has never done headstand and not using a blanket is the first sign that the teacher has absolutely no idea what he or she is teaching. If you're doing headstand for the first time, never done, but you're very much interested in practicing and then gaining mastery over it, take support of the blanket, go to a corner wall, and it's much easier. Another main reason why you can use the corner wall is the tendency of you wanting to fall on the right or the left drops. What happens is when you do headstand flat, let me just show you. Okay, suppose this is the flat wall. If you're doing headstand against the wall, the flat wall, naturally you feel like you're going to fall either to the left or to the right. So the tendency is much higher. The tendency of you falling on the right or the left when you're doing headstand against the flat wall is much higher. But when you do the headstand against the corner wall, the probability of you falling down is very less. Why? Very simple, as I said. One leg is here, another leg is here. With the legs widened apart, your fear of that you're going to fall down and hurt your neck, that vanishes. It's as simple as that. What's the main core reason of practicing headstand against the corner wall? As simple as that, so that you don't fall down. You will definitely fall down by time once you start practicing over a span of the next couple of months or years. But initially there'll be a lot of fear for you when you practice headstand for the first time, that you're going to fall, you're going to hurt the neck. Just accept the fact that these things are quite common. Even I have hurt my neck a couple of times in the last 10-12 years of practice. It's natural, these things happen. You learn by mistakes. A lot of trial and error has to be done. There is no shortcut to that. But at least you won't be injuring yourself, and that turning into something chronic. So you can avert the pains, the excruciating pain that you actually feel when you practice headstand for the first time without any proper guidance. If you're someone who's doing this by yourself, or you're fed up of asking people techniques of how to do headstand, and you're someone who's very keen and very much interested in practicing headstand, this technique will work wonders. Go to a wall, go to a corner wall, get a blanket. Don't have the blankets, use whatever blankets you have in your place. Just place it so that you get some kind of cushioning effect for the head, and then you get started. Let me just show this for one last time. Okay, now again, go to the corner wall. So you interlock the fingers with the little finger and the thumb touching one another. Place it to the corner. Now place the crown of the head down. Now lift the knees, walk ahead. First try to stay here. Now stay here, then bend the leg, and then slowly come up. You widen the legs, keep the legs apart. Actually, if you widen the legs this much, even you won't be able to touch the buttocks to the wall. You won't be needing the support of the wall at all. That's another good sign of why you have to do headstand against the corner wall. By starting like this, it's much easier for you to gain mastery over the headstand in a short span of time. That's the trick over here. Okay, so now here with the calf muscles and the heels touched against the wall, you can just stay there, relax for a few seconds. And then slowly bend. You drop the leg down. So one last thing, if you're someone who can only come up halfway, you find it difficult to lift the leg, what is it that you can do? Just take someone else's help. If you can find a friend or any of your family members who's around, just ask them to lift the legs up. So you'll be able to come up halfway, and then most of the times, because of the lack of strength in the lower back, you won't be able to lift the leg. You'll be like, okay, the legs are way too heavy. If that's the case, just take someone else's help and give it a try. If you don't have anyone, you don't have to worry about it. Just repeat this a few more rounds, maybe a couple of days, maximum 1 week, and you'll be able to come up by yourself. But just remember one thing, whenever you do the headstand, it's very essential that you keep the elbows tucked in. If the elbows move outside when you do the headstand, that is when you feel like, okay, you've exerted a lot of pressure in the neck. Once the elbows move out, and then that's when you actually feel the strain in the neck. Very simple technique. Never ever forget to keep the fingers together, and never ever, ever move the elbows out. If you keep the elbows tucked in, if you keep the fingers interlocked, the probability of you hurting yourself when you do headstand is very, very less, or probably zero. And if you start off practicing it against the corner wall, as I just showed you, you won't hurt yourself ever. So this is the day 2 of the 21-day headstand challenge. I hope you liked this, and if you did, please do give this a try, and do let me know how you felt in the comments. And if you have any doubts, if you felt like, okay, something went wrong, maybe you fell down, or you have any other complaints, or if you've been practicing for quite some time but you want something else, you want to learn other practices, please do share your views in the comments. I really look forward to reading them, and I'll try my best to answer them as soon as possible, or better, I'll even try to make a video of it. So this is my initiative to help you guys master the practice of headstand, so that you can do headstand as I do, and it will actually help you boost your confidence, and so that you can one day practice headstand in the center of the hall without anyone's help. You definitely won't even be needing my help. This is the day 2 of the 21-day headstand challenge. Give this a try if you're a complete beginner, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.